Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a card reading for your next 5 to 7 days, your next week essentially. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you discover it, the messages are valid for you, and we are asking that whatever messages you receive are things that you need to hear at this time. Pick a card reading means that you get to pick the number, the card, whatever draws you to it, the object. And then in the description, I have timestamps down there. You click on that timestamp, you go to your reading, and then I use my intuition to read the cards for you. I'm placing objects right now, and these objects actually relate to the reading. So it's probably whatever object you're drawn to is going to make the most sense for you. So the first one here, this is Desert Rose. And then if you are interested in the meanings of these stones, I do again talk about each one of them within the reading. So you can go there and listen to that, and maybe that can help you decide as well. Group 2, this is Fluorite. So green Fluorite. Group 3, we have Citrine. If you are still not sure which group is for you, well, you can pause the video at any time and take time to contemplate, or you can do a breathing exercise with me that I'm going to do right now. So go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath in and release. Okay, we're going to release out any tension. We're going to set the intentions of getting the messages that you need to receive. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and release. All right, now that you're nice and calm, go ahead and open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to look at this card first, and then I will pull other cards that I need this for, because it's transparent. But first, we're going to focus on what you chose here. This is Desert Rose. It's gypsum. Gypsum? Yeah. Pure gypsum is white, and there's actually, you can almost see through it too. But when you get it in like this color formations, it comes into a lot of different colors. It's because it's being influenced by the chemicals around it, by the things around it, like sulfur. Like sulfur is one of the big ones. It is used in drywall, and actually there are white sand beaches, or white sand dunes really, because it's not a beach now anyway. Where are those? In New Mexico. And there's so much gypsum there that it could fuel the drywall industry for 1,000 years. But they're protected. So, but to say that this isn't necessarily a rare stone or a rare formation. As far as the properties of it, the New Age esoteric properties, or what it's used for, what it's said to be used for. It encourages qualities such as honor, acceptance, and wisdom. It promotes clarity. It's often used when we are in a situation of confusion because we need clarity. So that kind of gives me a clue as to where this might be going. Oh, sorry. Trying not to sneeze here. Promotes focus and balance. You'll see people who practice yoga, they will put maybe these stones near the mat to help them with that practice. So it might be something that you're interested in or looking forward to. Then we have the Moon card coming out. So yeah, when I see this with this, and we'll get some more clarity with the tarot cards here in a second, it does speak about some confusion. Because if you think about a nice sunny day versus the moon is very much connected to our emotions, It's because it's connected to water. It's very much connected to our intuition. And it's time to listen to our intuition. Sometimes that can be difficult. Either we need to sit and meditate in a nice, calm space, or, you know, we're not listening to our intuition because we have so many other things influencing it. It might be other people's opinions. It might be that we just have such a hectic life. Our lives are so hectic that we oftentimes don't sit and think about what we want. Kind of reminds me of right after I had my second child, I got a moment to myself, everything was taken care of, and I had no clue what to do with myself, what to do with that moment. I had no idea what I even wanted, and I had no idea of even like who I was anymore. That can happen without having a baby. That can just happen within life. You kind of get caught up in things and you don't know what to do next. And this week kind of seems like taking that moment of pause. When the moon comes up, it always seems to, all the way, by the way, this is a Great Lakes card. So they're all kind of connected to water because they're connected to the Great Lakes. But in this particular card, like, it talks about like the size of the moon and the size of the Great Lakes, because the Great Lakes are huge, but the moon is even bigger than that. It seems like time stops as the moon rolls as a carpet over the top of the dark water of the lakes. So that's what this image is showing. And there's a stillness here. So it's time to take a moment. It's time to take a pause. It's time to dip into your emotions. What are they telling you? Sometimes negative emotions, we have the tendency of pushing them down. We don't have time with them. We don't have time to deal with them. But, or sometimes we're just afraid of them. Everybody's always telling us, be positive, you have to be positive. You can control how you feel. But you can, but you have to pay attention to those things because it's telling you something. And when this shows up, it's time to shine a light on your emotions, and it is time to listen to it. It's time to listen to your gut. What have you been pushing down there? What is it that you really truly feel? What is that telling you? Sometimes you'll be surprised. It's telling, like, you might think that you are, on the surface, things look amazing. Maybe you're in an amazing relationship, or on the surface you're in an amazing job, or on the surface, you're studying exactly what you think you should, but your emotions are telling you each day, like, something isn't right here. We need to make a change. That's usually when this pops up. The moon holds the rhythm of time. It is a deep clock within all things. Just as the moon's vibrational energy emits frequency that influence the season and tides, it also works to do the same in your life. Picture yourself on the shores of the lake, staring up at the moon as it shines across the water and falls at your feet. Follow the cadence of the moon. It will guide you through the cycles into your own life. The cadence of the moon is going to reveal your emotions, which is going to reveal thoughts behind that. We don't want to push those down anymore. We want to allow them to bubble up to the surface to tell us something. The affirmation associated with this card is, I will follow the cycle of the moon. Now, this is a reading that's good for any time that you're looking at, what's going to happen in the next 5 to 7 days. But you might want to check in with the moon cycle. Where are we? Are we close to the new moon? Are we close to the full moon? And where is the moon? So I can tell you right now, we are going from the new moon to the full moon. When we are in that cycle, the new moon, which is, there's no moon in the sky, to the full moon, the moon is growing. That's a great time to bring new things in, set new goals, grow with that. When we go from the full moon to the new moon, when the moon is shrinking in the sky, that's a great time for a release. That's a great time to let go of emotions or energies that no longer serve us. What else can you tell us about? Oh, okay. I'm laughing because the sun comes out. I'm like, what else can you tell us about the next week? It's funny how when we embrace energies that are seemingly opposing one another, how we really grow from that. So look at this, we've got some Wands cards here. So no matter what moon cycle we're in right now, when I see the Sun card here with the 10 of Wands, it's time to release some things. So I'm picking up with the moon here, that energy, those feelings, those things that you push deep down inside, those things that keep bothering you. If you don't release them as they happen or recognize them as they happen, usually life has a way of making it happen. And what I mean by that is if you don't take a break when you're supposed to take a break, you don't step away when you're supposed to step away, that's when we experience illness, or that's when something happens that pushes the point. And this, when we've got the sun, we need to be aware of our emotions. We need to shine a light on it, like I was saying. The sun is actually a beautiful card. And I think the moon is too, even though we're uncovering secrets. Like, we're doing it for a reason. We're shining a light on it for a reason. We're looking at the things that have been that have been a burden to us. We'll say it that way. I also see like a very quiet strength in the sun energy. When you look at the way that the cards are layered up, like the sun is so intense and so warm that it in and of itself can be a burden. So I think this week for you is about relaxing. It's about discovery. It's about self-discovery. We need to discover where it is that is just, there's something here that's just not working anymore. It's time to let it go. It's time to release it. And that is also over here with the, this is the World card. It's come to an end. It's time to level up, actually. And I think when we have this is the 7 of Wands. Look at how we're fighting things over here. Sometimes we're fighting invisible dragons. We're fighting things that don't even matter. Maybe it is a release or a let go of, 7 of Wands is standing your ground, but when I've got the 10 of Wands here as well, it's becoming too much. It's becoming a burden to you. There's external forces that are really pushing you in a certain direction that just does not feel right to you. It doesn't feel right here. This week is about discovering that. And I think it could be related to a relationship. It could be related to your job. It could be related to responsibilities within your family. So around one of those three things, you tell me which one it is, okay? You're gonna know. You gotta listen to your intuition about this. Some things are just not worth fighting for. It's not worth your mental health to fight it anymore. And sometimes when we're resistant to things, we're not seeing the opportunities that are behind us. I feel like there's more opportunities for you, but you have to let go of the other things that you're already carrying. You can't bring more things on. It's too much at this point. Surrender. I'm not surprised to see that, and creation. I think you're a very creative person. We have the Wands here to prove that. You're very creative, and I think that your creative endeavors, either you're showing your things to the wrong people and you're getting criticism about it from people who don't even understand what you're trying to accomplish. Either they don't understand what you're trying to accomplish or they're jealous about it. I feel like there needs to be some confidence in yourself. Trust the process. Surrender here. Surrender is not like putting up the white flag, letting these people that you're fighting know that they won. In fact, I think the way to win is to stop fighting. It's more of a agree to disagree. So this week is dipping into your emotions, feeling them, letting them tell you, letting them guide you to where you need to go. Doing that is going to release you from where you feel like you're trapped. So this week is all about probably some meditation. It's about some relaxation. It's about finding that clarity. So you picked the right stone here to find that clarity. How do you do that? You've got to quiet the external world. You have to go within. I suggest, and you tell me what works for you. What works for me is picking a moment where nobody else is around, sometimes even in your car, and writing down like what it is that you want out of this week. What do you want out of the next 6 months? Where do you see yourself in a year? I know these things are kind of hard sometimes to think about. And then once you discover that, just breathe and let it go. There was actually, I have to find it here because there's a mantra that I was told that I need to, and it's coming up here. This was given to me, and I think it's really good for you as well. It is, please God direct me to where I need to be each and every day going forward, doing what I need to be doing. That's what the surrender is. You're fighting too hard for things that aren't even making you happy. And you need to release that. And then once we, saying that mantra whenever you feel like you're a little bit out of control here, these wands cards suggest stress, energy, things being out of control, people like giving you their garbage because they know that you'll take it, and you haven't been able to focus on you. And this creation here, because the wands is a suit about creation. It's a suit about passions. It's following those passions. Sometimes those passions get tangled up with other people and they put their 2 cents in, and then you're questioning. This is all about releasing that questioning and trusting your gut, trusting your intuition to where it wants to take you, and then crafting the future that you want. So unfortunately, I know it's hard. I always dread that question whenever you're asked in a job interview, like, where do you see yourself in, 5 years? And you're like, dude, I just need a paycheck. But you can be honest with yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This cycle is ending. This cycle of this stress, this cycle of fighting, this cycle of not listening to that inner voice. We need to quiet your mind and surrender to that inner voice, surrender to the universe, surrender to spirit, and let God, spirit, however you perceive our higher power, guide you to where you need to be. And then this is where you start making steps towards that. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. This week is about release, and then bringing on what you really do want to deal with. You're releasing the things that you don't want to deal with, that don't matter, and bringing on the things that really, really do, and trusting in yourself and the universe to direct you into the direction of your dreams, into the things that you want to create. You are a co-creator of the universe. And it's interesting too, like Beaver Moon, this is a full moon, it's showing a full moon here. So very bright spots on your dreams. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2, and welcome to a reading about your next week. So we're going to start off with this fluorite. If you chose fluorite, this is your group. I just want to talk about fluorite for a minute because it's kind of fun. It's actually a very soft stone. So yeah, so it's soft. You may not be the best for certain types of jewelry. Really, it's probably best suited to hang out in my house like this. In ancient China, they used scarlet fluorite as a protection against evil spirits. And the Romans believed that if you drank from a cup carved from fluorite, it would prevent drunkenness. I don't have any scientific evidence to prove or disprove that. Again, this is extremely fragile, but exceptionally beautiful. And in Roman culture, it was a symbol of wealth. As far as like uses, it's believed to stimulate thought and enhance mental clarity. It's an excellent stone for removing negative energy, probably because it's beautiful vibrancy here. This may help you to alleviate stress and confusion, to provide for more powerful healing action of the body and mind and spirit. Let's heal all of those. So that's what I have for fluorite. Put it there so we can see it. And then we get your first card, and this is the Great Lakes Oracle, is pippin plovers, which are these cute little birds found along the Great Lakes, specifically I think in Sleeping Bear Dunes. And like many birds, the pippin plovers, they migrate. And they go from like the Great Lakes region to as far south as the Yucatan. And they're little birds and they find their way. I always am amazed by that. Birds, butterflies especially, they seem so fragile and they don't necessarily have the, we'll just say, they don't necessarily have the thought process that we do, but yet they can find their way. And I feel like this week is about you finding your way, but also possibly travel, finding your way and travel, getting out of your comfort zone, looking for new opportunities every day. I feel like there's going to be some new opportunities coming for you, possibly for travel this week, and you might want to take advantage of it. There's a huge world out there. There's many paths that lead to amazing and wondrous things. Be brave and mighty like the Great Lakes pippin plovers. Don't be hesitant. Have the courage to go on an amazing adventure and dive the great depths. The affirmation that goes with this card is, I will travel where my inner guidance leads me. Because if you think about birds, they have that amazing inner guidance that takes them where they want to go. There's also, and I created on my community page, I know this is one of them, and I'm going to have to paraphrase here because there's a lot of really beautiful like affirmations and positive sayings. There's one specifically about birds, about looking at birds and wondering, like, birds could go anywhere in the world. Like, why are they here? Why do they stay here if they could go anywhere in the world? Well, the pippin plovers go to like some pretty amazing spaces and places, and you can too. But from the viewer's perspective is wondering about that. But then, you know, you can wonder that about yourself because you can go anywhere in the world too. Where is it? Where does your adventure lie this week? Yeah, that's the 8 of Swords. Look at that. Look at that. So, Swords and Pentacles. You are not messing around picking fluorite because, and this about the pippin plover is so right. That part about the birds following their instincts, going where they want to go, that it really is just the belief in yourself that you can do that. And you don't have to be crazy about it. Take a break when you need to take a break. You don't have to get stressed out about it. We've got the 4 of Swords over here. And then we've got, this is the Queen of Pentacles. This is kind of like a good glow up for you. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles over here. And what I mean by that is like a good glow up, an amazing glow up for you, is look at how the Queen of Pentacles kind of so overshadows this Eight of Swords. So swords is about beliefs. Swords can be amazing. Like if you think about our minds, it's amazing what we can do, what we can conceive, what we can think of. And this reiterates like, getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of that box that you've placed yourself in, and you have done it. The Eight of Swords is about your own limitations. It is about the limitations that you set on yourself. You think that you have boundaries, and sometimes we place those boundaries around ourselves so that other people don't cross them. But what boundaries have you put around yourself that you're not crossing? Like, where do you feel like you can't do something? It's probably money related here. The Queen of Pentacles is all about, like I said, this is a great blow up, right? A great glow up. And I feel like once you get out of your comfort zone, that's where you find your manifestations, this money that we're looking for, new career possibilities. Have you been at a job where you have been there for a long time, and maybe you have grown very, very comfortable there? When we've got the Queen of Pentacles and then the Ace of Pentacles over here, not the Ace, this is the Page. It might be time to try something new, to do something new, especially if you feel like you are not being rewarded for the work that you've been putting in. Four of Swords indicates a fours are a number of stability. So you might be very stable where you are. But is it challenging? Is it challenging enough for you? Is there something new that you can go after? And that's what this Page of Pentacles is talking about. Sometimes we hold ourselves back because we don't have all of the answers. And what I mean by that is, say I want to be a lawyer. I don't know what it takes to be a lawyer, but I might know that the first step is to Google it. And then from there, I need to take a test, or maybe I need my bachelor's. Maybe then I need to take a test. Then I need to apply to law school. Then I need to, that is a long process. It's a long process. You don't have it all figured out, but you can figure out the first step. You don't have to know what the last step is going to be like. All you have to do is find that first step and journey on it. And again, I feel like what's leading you here is a financial component. When the Queen of Pentacles shows up, this is a good sign. It's a positive sign about that financial component. She's a very capable person. Even the Page of Pentacles, I think I would consider a very capable person. She just doesn't have all the answers yet, but she is going to glow up into the Queen. We go from Page to Knight to Queen to King. So queens create and kings control. And you're not quite in control of everything yet. But that's okay. Again, this is just the next week. This is realizing your potential and setting yourself up to follow that path. I feel like what could be holding you back is just your own internal dialogue. So it's scary. I get it. It's scary when we start something new. What else can you tell me about? But that doesn't mean that it has to hold you back. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so patience comes in and we have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords also talks about patience too. I think patience coupled with this Page is a very positive, because the page has this ability to just like run off. But if we're like, okay, I'm not going to completely hold myself back like I'm doing over here. I am going to move forward, but I'm going to make slow and measured progress. And then we have the path here as well. I feel like this week is about really unleashing yourself and finding that path that you're supposed to be on, to that opening to other realms. Look at how both of these cards, this is number 8 and this is number 36. We've got the path and we've got patience. And both of them have new openings for you. This week is going to be great for new opportunities in relation to money, career, finance. Look for it. And just because you might have had some issues in the past that haven't materialized, it doesn't mean, use that to help you, to like springboard you. Failure is okay. What's not okay is just sitting there and never getting up from that failure. Failure is part of the process. The master has failed more times than the student has even tried. So the more that you fail, great. You're getting you down the path to mastery, and that's part of that actually that forward movement. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I love that these opportunities are opening up. It's just when we're stuck in this 8 of Swords mentality, when we feel small, when we allow our thoughts to hold us back, when we think that we're small. Look at this little bird. This little bird is small, and this little bird makes huge treks, huge trips, goes on huge adventures, and the adventures are here for you. Look for them. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope that you have an amazing week. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. So this is our Citrine group, number 3. And let's talk about Citrine for a second. So I kind of talked about all of the stones and how they relate to the reading and why you might be drawn to it based off of the meaning of the stone. So citrine is believed to provide powerful healing and energy to help manifest abundance and wealth. It brings happiness and joy to many users and provides positive energy to relieve fear, negativity, and anxiety. It offers clarity of thought and improves our mental clarity and our mental capacity. And the other thing about citrine is it's often called the sunstone. It is believed that it can hold the sunlight and protect from evil and snake's venom. So I do not suggest that you use this for snake's venom, but that was like the historical back in the day, like Greek mythology type stuff that they use citrine for. And in Greek mythology, it is associated with Demeter, the goddess of harvest. It's also the birthstone for November, so you might be drawn to it because it's your birthstone. But the goddess of harvest really does feed into that idea of wealth and abundance, because if you have a full belly and you're, happy and you see the culmination of your work, there we go. That is what abundance is and what abundance means. So let's look at that. Help us with our cards this week. And the first card we have is Sunset. Now this deck is related to the Great Lakes. It's the Great Lakes Oracle. So the sunset that is here is the sun setting over the water, the sun setting over the lake. Sunset. So it's a moment, it's a pause, it's sometimes we have to step away from things to get some clarity. It's that reminder that we need to take a break, that we need to take a moment of rest. And as we're doing that, time still marches on, time still marches forward. That's not to say I'm not saying that to induce anxiety at all. You're not missing anything. Everybody needs a break. And in fact, when we look at the earth and the seasons, like fall into winter, they have their own beauty. So this is a reminder to take a break, to take a rest. And I say this a lot here as well. If you listen to a lot of my readings, you may have heard this before, but when you think about bodybuilders and you're building muscle, it's not that moment when they're lifting those weights. When they're lifting those weights, actually what's happening is they're causing damage in that muscle. But it's when the rest occurs that that muscle gets bigger. So rest is absolutely necessary. You need to take a break. You need to take a rest. The affirmation associated with this card is "this too shall pass." Time marches on, things continue on. And I cannot tell you how many times in a moment I thought like, oh my gosh, this is, critical or crazy, and now so much time has passed along those moments that it didn't even matter. So it's also kind of like a focus on things that matter too. Wow. Okay, so I am just reusing these cards. I'm just shuffling them after every single reading. And the reason I'm saying that, because it's interesting, these two exact same cards, albeit in different positions, came out for, I think, group 2. This is the Queen of Pentacles, and this is the 8 of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles came out for them with a page, but not this page. This is the Page of Wands. And this is the 3 of Cups. I kind of think the 3 of Cups came out first. So we're just gonna layer it like this. What's unique about your reading, even though we have some cards that are kind of reused a little bit, is that we've got cups, pentacles, we've got swords, and we've got wands. You have all of the tools available to you. You may not notice it. Sometimes that rest gives us clarity, and I think that this week is a good time to just relax. Do what feels good and to relieve some anxiety. 3 of Cups suggests that having fun with friends and family could be a top priority for you. It should be something that you should prioritize and focus on the fun. Then we've got the Queen of Pentacles that comes in over this. Well, it could also be having fun with your coworkers. Like, your coworkers should be your friends as well. I know that's not always possible, but it is pure magic when it is. So if you're in a situation where it's not like that, why isn't it like that? Are there things that you could do to create a better bond with your coworkers? Sometimes it's just like getting rid of those coworkers. But this is your most, we talked about finance and abundance here with the citrine, right? We're choosing that. We want to go on our path of that. The 8 of Swords indicates that something's holding you back, but it really is you holding you back. The only thing holding you back is yourself or your ideas around things. Your best situation is where you are surrounded by people who have the same goals as you, and who are supportive of your growth, especially in finance, especially in your personal growth, especially in the material and the physical things. You don't want to be surrounded by people who, when you're like, hey, I got this new thing, like I'm really excited about it, or I made this new achievement, or I did this, and they react with fear or they react with jealousy. Something that I'm hearing that you might be hearing is must be nice. Anybody who says that in my life is somebody who I may not block them, but I am certainly not going to take their opinion into consideration. This is building a foundation along people who cheer for you, who want you to do well. And they want you to do well because they know it's possible because they're doing well themselves. This is surrounding yourself with people of that, like those common interests and those common goals. I am always amazed and surprised, and this happens a lot within like the entertainment industry, comedians, when I'm listening to, and what's coming to mind right now is like Adam Sandler. Before Adam Sandler was big, his roommate was Judd Apatow. They are both multi-millionaires now. How does that happen? It happens because they had common goals. They both were very successfully minded people, and they both succeeded. And along the way, they helped each other. Adam Sandler knew Jennifer Aniston before she was on Friends. Again, surrounding yourself by people who are on the same kind of path as you, who have the same kind of passions that you do. I kind of feel like, a lot of times this 8 of Swords comes in when we have like those negative self-talk. Everybody has it. Everybody has those like intrusive thoughts, and we can be released from the limitations of those intrusive thoughts. How do we get released from it? One way is, again, to surround yourself by people who want to see you win, who want to see you succeed. I think you need to take kind of stock around the people who are around you. I actually have some really amazing social media friends that I don't get to hang out with them in person because they're in different parts of the country. But when they are talking about their adventure, and it may not even coincide with mine, I am there for them, and they're there for me when I post about the things that I'm doing. And I feel like that is a support system or a support group that you really need in your life. And sometimes I'll get some messages from them, some DMs from them, and it's just that positive energy. Sometimes we get some really negative energy around family, and sorry about that. That family negative energy could be very fear-based. Not necessarily because they're sometimes grandparents, they just don't understand the world that we live in. And it's not that they don't want to be cheerleaders for you, they just don't get it. And computers scare them, for instance. So if you want to have a computer company, they just don't see how you can make it because it's not part of their reality and their existence. You need to judge people based on, their own fears and their own limitations. And what I mean by judge, like, of course, no judgment zone, but when somebody is very critical of you, realize that what they're saying is really just their internal dialogue saying that. So this is a week where we're coming into a realization around our friends and family, and who is there to be that great cheerleader and who is not. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to block your husband or wife's or partner's grandma. It's just that understanding when she says something, she's saying something based on her own experience, which is completely different than yours. Then I have this Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about seeking that passion. I love the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is gung-ho and ready, and the Page of Wands has no fear. So it's interesting that the Page of Wands comes in over this 8 of Swords. So it's fighting that fear with your passions. It's kind of like what's coming in is there's a quote from Alice in Wonderland. I think it's Alice in Wonderland, and it's like, oh no, what if this happens? And then it's like, yeah, but what if you fly? What if you succeed? It's like, what would you do if you couldn't fail? That's what this week is about, because there is a lot of really positive, beautiful things coming in here And look at this. Look at this. We've got beginnings. We've got the new door to new beginnings, following your passions. And we've got this hunger, this moon, this wolf moon. So we're shutting the chapter. We're shutting the door on a chapter of intrusive thoughts, of things not working out. And we are following our passions to new beginnings. And we are not afraid of going after those new beginnings. This is new moon. If you're watching this video when I'm uploading it, we just had the new moon a few days ago. When the sun, well, not the sun, when the moon, but it is related to the sun. So a new moon is when there's no moon in the sky at all. Complete pitch black. That happens because the sun and the moon are aligned, and you don't see it because you need the moon on the other side of you need the moon over here, the sun over here to shine on the moon for you to see it. Okay. I hope that makes sense. So there's no moon in the sky. We've all experienced that. Very, very dark sky. The moon isn't up there. That's the new moon. This is a great time to start new things because the energy with the moon is that it goes from nothing to bigger and bigger and bigger. This is the wolf moon, hunger. When is the wolf moon? The wolf moon is, and I almost feel like it should be kind of like this, read in chronological order. The wolf moon is January 25th. So approximately 2 weeks after a new moon, we have a full moon. And I kind of feel like, these are timeless readings. So whenever you are reading this, even though we're talking about the energy of this week, the next 5 to 7 days, whatever you put into motion now, you're manifesting here with our Queen of Pentacles. We are, and the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Very quickly, within the next 2 weeks, you're going to see some amazing results from that. This is you following your passions. This is you just acknowledging that we have intrusive thoughts, but releasing it and letting it go and not letting it stop you. Like we can see this Queen of Pentacles and this Page of Wands clearly moving forward into the into abundance, into prosperity. Something you're putting forth right now in 2 weeks is going to bless you. Like you're going to have blessings, whether that be financial or very creative endeavors that are coming to fruition. Pay very much attention to the people when you were putting your dreams out there who are rooting for you. Those are the people that you want to lean on, and those are the people that you want to have in your life. New beginnings. Don't be afraid of those new beginnings. This, like I said, every ending is really a new beginning, and I feel like that troubled time, this too shall pass. You're going to find a lot of great abundance and wealth within the next 2 weeks for you, which is lovely. I love that for you. So I hope that you have an amazing week. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading.